Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining in for our partner showcase. This is the first one we're going to have, and we're focused on our Americas partners. I'm going to go ahead and quickly introduce you to those partners. Let me know if you can see my slides here. Can you guys see my slides? Perfect. Okay.
Yes,
So this is the first partner showcase that we're having for the Swift platform. Today we have with us, first of all, my name is Ali Naseem. I'm the CEO and founder of Ephlux and the product leader for the Swift platform. We have with us Santosh Borse from LTI Mindtree. So just a quick intro to Santosh and to LTI. LTI Mindtree is one of the global partners focused on multiple technologies, but there are $4 billion plus in revenue, more than 700 plus clients globally, 82,000 employees worldwide in 30 plus countries. Santosh is the vice president of sales for the Oracle practice in North America, and he has more than 25 plus years of experience in the industry and consulting. So over to you, Santosh. Would love to have a quick introduction to yourself.
First of all, thank you, Ali. It's a pleasure to be here on the panel. Let me introduce my company, what we do in the JD Edwards area and Oracle space, and also give a view on what industry is looking in terms of digitization, what our customers are looking post-COVID that has accelerated, and why we partnered with Ephlux, and what are the things that we are doing jointly in the market. So LTI Mindtree actually is basically we are, as Ali just mentioned, a great event happened because earlier we were known as Larsen and Toubro Infotech Limited. So we are part of about $25 billion engineering and construction conglomerate based out of India, and does a lot of global projects like building the tallest statue in the world. And if you ever land in the India, all the airports, the entire infrastructure is built by our parent company. L&T owned two companies. One was L&T Infotech, and they also owned Mindtree. Both of these companies were performing very well. And last year, the merger between the two companies happened. So now the new name is LTI Mindtree, which is about $4 billion in revenue, and we have close to about 85,000 plus employees on our roll. We are a full services IT services provider, and we have global delivery center as well as the sales locations across more than 30 plus countries. We serve Fortune 1000 clients, close to about 800 plus clients, active clients. And we are an Oracle Platinum partner. We have had this relationship for more than 2 decades now with Oracle. Our Oracle practice is very decently, I would say, is close to about 5,000 people. But we are also one of the largest JD Edwards practice today in the world. Having said that, we serve not just the JD Edwards, but we have service lines which is being served as Oracle EBS, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, Siebel, and Hyperion, the on-prem application, and then the cloud application. Also, we have done almost like 200 plus cloud SaaS implementation, and also migrated a lot of customers from whether it's an Oracle database or Oracle application or non-Oracle application. We have moved them to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, Amazon, Google's, and Microsoft of the world as the hyperscaler. In terms of a JD Edwards practice, over 1,300 plus people within our JD Edwards practice today, and most of them are certified. And if you really look at our clientele, they are large customers as well as the small customer also. Large customers could be a Fortune 5 oil and gas companies to a leading manufacturer of the elevators in the world, to a smaller company which is with the revenue of even a $500 million company. We have done a lot of JD Edwards upgrade, implementation, transformation. But what we saw was the market demand is most of our customers have moved to they have upgraded to 9.1 or 9.2, But post-COVID, there was a huge demand that we saw in the market where customers were looking to move their on-prem JD Edwards application or Oracle application to the infrastructure of their choice, hyperscaler of their choice. Some people have chosen AWS, some people chose Microsoft, and a lot of people moved to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. So as a company, we have an Infinity platform to do an entire assessment of which is the right platform and where you can get the best value for your investment. So we not only help with selection of a right hyperscaler, but we also accelerate the entire journey to cloud migration using our Infinity platform. The next thing that we saw was a need for the entire digitization. Post-COVID, there was a lot of disruption, not only in the supply chain, people were working from home, and they really needed remote access to their application. And that's where we realized that, okay, digitizing the entire JD Edwards and building a digital wrapper around that is the market demand, and then we have built various solutions around that. The another concept that most and most customers are today asking is, okay, I have invested into my ERP application, be it EBS, JD Edwards, or Oracle Cloud SaaS. How do I automate the entire end-to-end process? What are those core processes which could be automated? So again, at LTI, what we have built is a complete Novico platform where we have actually looked at about 500 processes across the ERP system and identified which of them could be automated. And this automation could be through RPA, it could be using chatbot, it could be using IoT, or it could be using a platform. The reason why we have partnered with Ephlux is using their low-code, no-code platform to build some automation around that also. Or maybe like JD Edwards customer do not want to buy a separate product on a supplier portal, we can use Ephlux platform, very quickly build those supplier portal, and then bring it to life in really weeks time. We are not even talking about months to do those kind of an implementation. So those are the few things that we are today doing when we talk about what we do at L&T and what we are seeing in the market. Another area which we are investing a lot is basically the kind of tool sets that we have built over the last 15 years. So if you really need to do a transformation, or you're looking at moving to SaaS, okay, how can you make that kind of a journey? Another trend that we are looking at is, especially with the large customers, they are asking us a question saying that, okay, hey, what happens after 2032 when Oracle is trying to end the support? Larger customers generally plan for movement 5 years, 6 years before itself, they start planning for it. And Oracle is investing heavily into SaaS, as well as they're making innovation into JD Edwards product also. So a lot of customers came back and they want to enhance the functionality. They are looking at a hybrid kind of a model where JD Edwards is at the core, but they really want to surround it with the SaaS products. One of our recent transformation that we did was for a manufacturer where we not only just upgraded their JD Edwards to 9.2, we moved them to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure in our instances, but we built a complete digital wrapper using RPA, using mobility, and we also implemented Commerce Cloud, which is a SaaS application of Oracle CP Cloud and SaaS, and now we are looking at EPM Cloud. So we are actually surrounding JD Edwards with a lot of Oracle SaaS solution, so that the journey of moving from JD Edwards to SaaS has already started for them. There are few customers from few industries which are talking to us saying that, look, if we really want to rip and replace, basically taking JD Edwards and moving completely into a SaaS. So we again build a platform for those such customers. There is no straight path from Oracle from moving JD Edwards to SaaS. However, there is a platform that we have built with the tool sets and utilities where we can accelerate the entire journey. So that being said, I'll end up with the cloud world. As you guys might know that, okay, the cloud world, Oracle Cloud World, the signature event is upcoming in Las Vegas from September 18 to 21st. And LTI Mindtree is the platinum sponsor of Oracle Cloud World. We are having a large booth there. We are having customer sessions around what we have done for customers who are on premise, how they are leveraging the SaaS application to build an hybrid model. And second thing is another case studies we are going to talk about how to seamlessly move your Oracle and non-Oracle workload to the Oracle Cloud infrastructure. Then there are in-booth sessions that we are having on the complete digital buying experience transformation, showcasing our Infinity platform, and also talk about the corporate governance and enterprise sustainability and governance for the financial industry and the other industries also. We are talking to Ephlux to have a session there also at Oracle Cloud World. Hopefully you will be able to see some of the solutions live. And on top of it, LTI also is having a Top Golf event for our prospects and existing customers. So if you want to come, look out for that. And we can send you the meeting invites and gladly welcome you for some playful event as well as a networking at the Oracle Cloud World. We have been Ephlux partner for almost a year now, Ali, right? And we have 50 plus certified resources today. And what we are trying to do is not just the out-of-box offering, but we are now looking at how can you look at end-to-end JD Edwards processes, and how can we leverage Ephlux platform to automate your JD Edwards using Ephlux and other leading technologies, and really make it as a touchless ERP. The concept that we are working on is how can you automate most of your process so that this becomes more of a touchless system rather than eliminating a lot of manual tasks and eliminating a lot of errors and everything. So with that, I'll end my introduction to the company and my perspective on why digitization of your ERP landscape is a necessity now, not just merely a nice to have thing, but it is a necessary and gives a competitive edge over competition in the market. I welcome you to visit us at Oracle Cloud World and learn more about what we are doing with Ephlux and what are the other solutions that we have built today in the market.
Yeah, thanks, Santosh. Thanks for some great insights and your perspective on how you see the market developing and moving towards that transformation being the necessity as opposed to something that you can look forward to, right? It just has to happen now and today. Obviously, we are looking forward to our sessions at Oracle Cloud World together to present that. So now I would like to introduce you to our other partner. We've got Matt Batchelor here from Main Street Apps. They've been a great partner, and we again partnered up almost a couple of years back, Matt. So Matt is the Executive Vice President and a partner at Main Street Apps and has had more than 20 plus years of experience. I like to call him an innovation evangelist, in the JD Edwards space, because he's always been there talking about how things can be done better in a more innovative fashion. So we'd love to have a quick introduction with you, Matt, and Main Street.
Yeah, no, thanks for that introduction, and thanks for having us kicking off this showcase. Yeah, as Ali said, my name is Matt Batchelor, one of the partners with Main Street. Main Street has been around for 24 years, so just over 2 decades. And in summary, Main Street is the end-to-end enterprise data applications and analytics partner. We are not a large-scale hyper-growth sort of organization. We really do focus on the small to medium-sized customers. We do have a range of customers, some in the Fortune 100 space, all the way down to startups. We do have a big history in the JD Edwards community. The vast majority of our team have come either through Edwards or through other service providers in the industry. And what we did when we came together is really saw a need from the customer base that's generally that small, medium-sized customers being overlooked. There was a number of challenges that they faced. They were having services and vendors that just didn't pay close enough attention to them and really were an afterthought. And so we have a model that we've subscribed to, and that's essentially being very lean with our operations, and focused very heavily financially on our internal resources. So our resources are all senior level resources. And then we focus on customer success and really a level of customer intimacy with all of our customers, so that we're very familiar with their organization, how they operate, everything along that basis. And so we really partner closely with our customers. We have a very strong cost advantage as well, by not having major offices, not doing a lot of sponsorships, not doing a lot of overhead, account managers, project managers, like all of those types of things. We've created a very lean model and a very effective model to deliver not only a good deal of cost savings to our customers, but also be able to reward our talent, our senior level talent, really drive them to be customer focused as well. As Ali said, we partnered with them. It's been a number of years. So I've had fortuitous situation where I've had 2 successful exits. I've owned 2 previous technology companies in the enterprise space, and have had a successful exit from both of those. The one was heavy in the JD Edwards space as well. And we were kicking around at that time, trying to find solutions or trying to even develop solutions around simplifying the development experience, the integration experience with JD Edwards. It was right when AIS was coming out, and Orchestrator and AIS were coming out, and we were trying to leverage that component of it. I successfully exited, parted ways, and that's when Ali and I really started having deep conversations about what the Swift platform would look like and the capabilities. And I really saw from Ali's team his attention to enterprise class technologies. It wasn't an afterthought, as I had seen in some previous experience with others out there. It truly was an enterprise focused platform, and the culture aligned, and the customer focused nature of the product really aligned with our direction, with where we were going. And so we maintained close contact, where I think we're either the first or one of the first partners with Ephlux on the Swift product. And it really put a fantastic solution that we could put in front of our customers that allowed our customers in a very low cost delivery method to build quick apps that are very effective. And they don't have a lot of superfluous features and bells and whistles that maybe you don't need. You can add those in if you need them, you can integrate with them, but they're not required, and it's not cumbersome, and it's not overbearing, and it doesn't require a ton of architecture and infrastructure, which we see with some other competitors out there. So that was a big driver for our partnership with Ephlux on the Swift product. We do have successful customers that are live on the product and continuing to expand as we speak. And so, yeah, I think that's probably about it. The biggest piece is looking forward to an interactive discussion here later, but I'll turn the floor back over to you, Ali, and let you introduce the rest of our panel.
Sure. Yeah, thanks for all the insights and the collaborative nature of how we've been interacting over the past couple of years. And I think that's been a big part of helping clarifying our ideas and the concepts that we had. So absolutely, you were one of the first partners when we started out, and thanks for your partnership. We really appreciate that. So now next we have ISP3. I've got William Liu. He's one of the senior partners there, and he's been leading the strategic direction of ISP3. They're based out of Canada, Vancouver. He heads the sales and marketing organization, and they're focused on mining, construction, lumber, and energy sectors. So over to you, William.
Great, thank you very much, Ali. Nice to see some of you, and thank you very much, Ali, for inviting us. So ISP3, just a quick background, was founded in 2001 with 3 partners, hence the 3 in the ISP3, myself, Ann Hopping, and Steve Chan. Today, the organization is run by just myself and Ann Hopping, as the 3rd partner has retired and probably having a margarita somewhere. When we started, well, before we started ISP3, all of us came from JD Edwards. I was a supply chain consultant with JD Edwards, and the other folks was in payroll and development. And we found ISP3 because we did see a need in Canada on some of the projects that we saw and how it was being executed, that we felt that we can do a better job. So we started ISP3 in that vein. Today, ISP3 has consultants across Canada, in British Columbia, Alberta. Yeah, so we have consultants across Canada, British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Ontario. And we have consultants across all applications, core applications and development, technical CNC, and provide implementations, upgrades, managed services on both CNC and applications. And we are, after we had made an acquisition in 2018 of another partner in Ontario, we are the largest JD Edwards provider in Canada. And one of the things that we do not do is subcontract independence onto our team. So every one of our resources are ISP3 resources full time. As well, ISP3 ourselves run JD Edwards. We have been running JD Edwards for ISP3 since 2007 on the latest release, and also it's the first customer in North America to migrate from on-prem to Oracle Cloud. And of course, we help other clients migrate their JD Edwards platform from on-premise to OCI, as well as some of the other options like AWS and Azure. So we're very familiar with that roadmap of our clients who wants to go through this digital transformation journey. With JD Edwards, the support is still 2034. That's not where support ends. That is what this application will be supported to 2034 until it needs to be upgraded again. So obviously many clients right now are in a situation where they want to make a decision. Do we continue with that journey, JD Edwards, go to OCI, or do we want to have a hybrid solution, or altogether go into a SaaS solution? With that in mind, ISP3 has always focused on JD Edwards, but has in the last couple of years started building resources in the space, in the Oracle Cloud Fusion space, as well as taking on an application called NextWorld, which is a full low-code, no-code SaaS solution that's now in the tier 1 space of ERP. So we now offer services on all three ERP solutions. We are probably one of the newest partners of Ephlux. I met Ali in Blueprint, 4D Blueprint in Dallas a couple of months ago. I actually was probably the end of the session when I went to his booth, and Ali was gracious enough to pull together a demo for me last minute. Showed me what the application can do in the product, and really build a mobile, be it fairly high level, was able to build something that works within minutes, and let me see the power of Ephlux. So with that, we have additional conversations about what we did and what our clients are, where the space that we play in, and we saw a real need for what he was offering, because of what is being offered today to the clients in the solution, the mobile solution, is really quite not only from a cost perspective is not in line, but from a functionality and flexibility perspective, really was not comparable to what Ali showed us. So with that, we became a partner of Ephlux. I guess it was June when we signed with you folks. And we sent consultants to get trained up on the application. They were quite impressed with it, and we see a lot of possibilities and a lot of opportunities with clients that we are in today. Again, we focus on mining, construction, oil and gas, lumber, but we also play in the public sector and Crown Corps. We have a lot of those clients that all have a need for a mobile solution, mobile platform, no code, and we can see that there's going to be a very, very good offering for these clients. giving them a better product at a lower cost. So we're very, very excited about the partnership with Ali and his team, and we're looking forward to working with you guys going forward.
If we're equally excited, William, for the possibilities we have with our partnership with you. So, and thanks for having the team getting certified and trained on the platform already. So that was pretty quick. Like we met, I think, in May. We're sitting in August, right? So we already have the partnership. We already have the teams trained. So that was pretty quick turnaround. And absolutely, we are looking forward to this partnership to develop further. So now we've got Edgardo from Integra Consulting. So they are based out of Mexico and they cover Latin America as one of the key JD Edwards partners. Would love to hear out, Ed, over to you. And if you want, you can screen share your slides if it's allowing you to do it. Okay, it is. So go ahead.
Sorry. Hi, Ali. Thank you for the space. So glad to be here. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let me introduce myself. I'm Edgardo Fuentes. I'm CEO of Integra Consulting. We are a global consulting firm with oriented all the technology for JD Edwards. And we have our companies in Mexico, and we support, all our clients in Mexico and also in Latin America. In Mexico, we have some clients that Japanese, American, because based on the manufacturings that they have in Mexico, and they manufacture here in Mexico, and they export or return the finished goods to the States or Canada. So we give that kind of support to our clients, and also we have national clients. We have more than 25 years of experience, all related with JD Edwards, and this is part of our ecosystem. We have created some products and solutions for the market for Latin America and Mexico. In the case of Mexico, we have to face some Mexican requirements or needs that we need to cover every client that operates in Mexico. We have challenged a lot of things that based on these Mexican requirements that it's a must to be covered. So we have defined some kind of portals that validate, audit, and speed up the process for the operation for our clients and here in Mexico. And also we have now, we start with this business relation partner with Ephlux starting this year. And one of the things, and I agree with the other partners, when we saw the potential, the way it works, how it speed up the process of the connectivity, the low code, no cost, it's impressive. I mean, it's and we have been, I think it's have been accepted really good here in Mexico and in Latin America, this kind of application of Ephlux. So we are implementing now Swift solution, and we're looking forward to cover all the market for Mexico and Latin America. And as I mentioned, Ali, I think part of that we decided to make this kind of business relation was the solution that you have and you offer to the client. It's really impressive, and looking forward to expand the brand and expand, have more projects here in Mexico and Latin America. I don't know if you want to switch a little, make a switch to Spanish, or if some audience in
Please go ahead.
Gracias a todos, bienvenidos. Muchas gracias, Ali, por el tiempo. Mi nombre es Edgardo Fuentes, soy CEO de la marca Integra Consulting. Somos una empresa fundada en México, atendiendo al mercado mexicano y latinoamericano. Somos partners de Ephlux y tenemos soluciones, aparte de dar nuestro core de consultoría a lo largo de estos 25 años. Damos soluciones también, o tenemos soluciones como portales para que cubren el requerimiento de la autoridad mexicana. Y en el caso en este año somos socios de Ephlux, que es cubriendo todas las necesidades de barcoding o código de barras hasta toda la parte de movilidad. La forma, como comentaba, una forma, lo que nos atrajo del producto es lo rápido que se conecta, el bajo costo que esto tiene y sobre todo que esto acelera los procesos de comunicación entre los temas de movilidad y JD Edwards, dado que todo está basado en orquestaciones naturales de JD Edwards. Thank you, Alec. Back to you, and thank you for the space and the time.
Yeah, thanks, Ed. Thanks for your perspectives and your insights, and we definitely are looking forward to the partnership here. And like we've discussed, so many different projects and solutions that we are building together for the Mexican market. So thanks for your partnership. So now we'll open up the floor for whoever wants to respond to from the panel. Some key points here, right? So when we launched Swift a few years back, right, first issue that we had to face was, since we were changing the paradigm, right? We were changing the paradigm from a perspective that customers were saying, why would I need this when there are so many specialized B2B SaaS offerings out there which are best in class, right? Now, on the other hand, there's so many B2B PaaS offerings on which I can build applications. Like, why do we need a platform which you're trying to call as an enterprise app automation platform? And one message that I thought about, I really thought hard about it, right? The real thing was that back in 2007, if you look at the consumer app space, you would realize there were all sorts of different point solutions available for consumers. We had the digital organizer, we had the digital cameras, we had the digital email clients or whatnot. And then came iPhone, right? What basically iPhone did, it wasn't really another point solution. It wasn't another a single trick pony. It was more of a platform where you could actually empower an ecosystem that could build these apps, that could inherit everything that you already have, right? And then kind of build on top, right? So that was our moment where we said, yes, absolutely, there is that need of having a platform not targeted for the developers, not targeted for people who can write their own code, because there are many tools out there. We don't want to compete there. Nor does it need to be a single trick pony. Like it doesn't need to be a SaaS application that can be configured. Because what ends up happening is, because if you look at the enterprise market, if you look at these mid to large size customers, they've got their backend sorted out. They've got their ERP in place for good decades now, right? So they've built the business logic, invested so much on their backend systems, on the ERP systems. They don't really need another system to create another silo of set of business logics. What they really need is the ability to be able to inherit that business logic, those investments that they've already made into the ERP, and empower their power users and the business analysts. And why I say that, because these are the people who are closest to the business problem, right? Whenever you are a line of business user, either you're in manufacturing, you are in maintenance, you are in supply chain, you are in procurement, you are in customer servicing, whatever line of business you're in, you as the business user are the first people who really understand the problem, the context of the problem, right? And you have so many ideas how you can innovate. What really ends up happening when you think about that idea of that innovative idea that can solve that problem in that moment of truth, you think about a 7-month project before it's going to see the light of the day. And it's not because it takes 7 months to build it. It's just the whole bureaucracy of how the software development is done today. You're going to sit with the business analyst, find their time in their queue, write down the functional specs. The business analyst is going to put it in the queue, for the development team, for the architect to design it, and they're going to find internal resources or outsource it. So the whole process in itself is going to take months, let alone the development happening with whatever technology you use. So that's what the game-changing paradigm was. In that moment of truth, when the business analyst and the power user faces that problem, can they get on, instead of writing a functional spec, actually build an app that can be done faster? At least can be, the alpha version can be created faster than you can write the functional specs. And that was our moment of truth where we said, yeah, absolutely. Because you know what? All the business logic is already there. And these power users and business analysts understand their metadata better than any developer can ever could, right? Because then they have to translate all that. They have to do those. We all know those technical specs that we used to write back in the days of business services, right? Where you have to do a functional spec mapping between your master data source and your, XML structures, and then you're programming all of it. So that was sort of a moment of truth for us. We thought that this is the iPhone moment for the enterprise apps, whereby the next generation of user experience needs to be created. How can you leverage all you already have in terms of your metadata, in terms of your business logic, in your ERP and other enterprise systems, and present it as a presentation layer to be able to do that? So love your thoughts on it. Like, do you guys think the moment has come, the iPhone moment for the enterprise apps? Matt, do you want to take that up?
Yeah, I'll jump in there a little bit. I think it's kind of taking a little bit side tangent on it, but I think what we found is Swift wasn't the first quote unquote no code platform to the market, right? And so you're going into a market that was already there. However, what we found with our customer base was those that tried to address their challenges with some type of no code or low code solution were disenfranchised, or were frustrated, or didn't know where to start, because they would hear low code, they would hear low code, no code, but it really wasn't, right? They would try to do something that was effective for the business, and you would keep getting roadblocks thrown up. So no matter how quickly they tried to develop, they would try to do X, Y, and Z, and it was like, well, I can't get to Z. And you work with a platform provider, and they're like, well, that we have to do that behind the scenes, right? And so it becomes quite challenging when you really don't have that full functionality. So they were kind of handcuffed, and that was one of the things that was so enlightening when we saw Swift, is there were no handcuffs, right? You can truly sit down. It's transparent. It's all in front of you. You can sit down and develop end to end very quickly, and that was really game changing. I mean, that still is very game changing when the low code, no code message seems to still be heavy in the marketing space. But when you dissect that, and I mean, to your earlier point in my introduction, I've been a low code, no code evangelist prior to us meeting. I've seen the writing on the wall and the power of the code or the platform if it, when it takes shape, but you still see quite a bit. Now, those companies will remain nameless and their products will remain nameless, but there's a couple hundred of them out there that are still not truly low code, no code. But if you listen and read their website and listen to all their marketing campaigns and that, you would think, it's perfect. And I'm here to tell you, hands down, the vast majority of them that I've had hands-on experience with, they're not. There's always little caveats. There's things that you still need to go to the provider, open up a ticket, and have them work some magic behind the scenes, because the power is not in my hands as an quote unquote end user. It still has to be managed through the platform provider.
Yeah, and Matt, to add to that, Ali, what I would say that, okay, there are two parts of it when I see this. One is the business user experience, and because they don't care, they care that, okay, how can you have a better business experience? How can you make my life simpler? Whatever technologies you use that in behind, that's for the IT folks or to do that. Now, Matt actually answered it very well, saying that, okay, with a low-code, no-code platform, with Swift tightly integrated with the JD Edwards, the IT team and the SIs can really make it a reality by using your platform. But most importantly, the business users, the kind of experience that they want today from their enterprise app, like what you said, is they're using iPhone, and when they go to office, they see that, okay, why are we using these kind of an old technology? Why can't we have a similar kind of experience into day-to-day operation when we are trying to enter some kind of a transactions? Why can't this be an automated? Why can't we have some kind of an intelligence coming out as a system? So when I look at more from a business user perspective, that's where the expectations of every business user is rising. And when you say, okay, whether the moment has come, the moment has already was there. Okay, we just need an acceleration there. And that's where most of the companies, most of the CIOs are today talking about, how do I make business user experience much better? How can I make them more productive? And the technologies and the platforms like Ephlux has for low code, no code, and the other technologies that we are in, how do I leverage all these technologies, the power of that, and enhance my business user experience and productivity?
No, absolutely. I think that's the sentiment. Where especially post COVID, where everything is digital first now. People first try to do it digitally and then try to go to the office, right? This has become paramount. Like, this has become business critical. Earlier, it would have been like a nice to have, but now it's the first place where people go, and that's where the demand for having it much better in terms of user experience, automating as much as you can, has become sort of paramount, right? And that's what's the thing. The other thing that I would like your inputs on that as well. We before we built Swift, we used to do a lot of integration, right? We used to call ourselves more of an integration partner of JD Edwards as opposed to an implementation partner. The other thing we did in our life before Swift was we did a lot of SaaS implementation. Of the typical vendors that we all know of. So I wouldn't name the names, but it's like if you are to build a customer service portal, right, you would go for a customer experience cloud application, right? If you were to build a supply chain or procurement cloud or a supplier portal, right, you would go to those large systems and literally configure everything or build into it everything that you already have in your ERP. So it used to have months and months of actually redoing everything that you already have in the ERP into a different system. And then once you've done that, now you realize, I need to integrate all of that back into that system of record. So that becomes a project in itself, right? To be able to orchestrate these, processes between these multiple systems. A problem that did not exist, you created that by implementing that big solution for a small problem, right? And then now you're integrating it back to your system of record. So when we built Swift, our original intention wasn't really to be a replacement of those point solutions. But as we discussed more and more with customers, they realized that a lot of the amount that they're spending on these point solutions that takes months and months and a few $100,000 easily to implement, those can be done on Swift. And that was a moment where we realized that it's not just a mobility platform, it can actually be a whole sort of enterprise app automation platform that you can literally inherit everything you've got and take it forward from there. So what are your thoughts on that? I would love to hear that out. Ed, you, Matt.
Yes. Yeah, I think, I agree with you. I think in Mexico and Latin America, we are facing the same thing. The clients are looking forward for this digital transformation. They are moving fast. As COVID, they have a lot of needs, and also helpful. So the solution, low code, no code, has that part of flexibility. I think it's the way it works, the way it connects. That's the whole environment. I mean, it's really interesting. So here in Mexico or in Latin America, that's the solution that we are looking for. I mean, that can speed up the process. And also, one of the things, to be honest, and is key for this kind of solution is the ROI, the return of investment they have. As you mentioned before, probably you are investing or developing any kind of solutions. But if you compare this kind of solution with a ROI, and you make it happen, it converts really interesting. And also for the rates in Mexico and also Latin America, it's really attractive. I mean, it sounds but it works for the final, for the user experience, but also at the same time on the financial side, it's so important because they have this return on investment really quick, and they make really interesting, the solution.
Yeah.
And I have a viewpoint on this one now. Yes, we are not here to use Ephlux platform to build a module by itself. So both has a play. Okay, let's say if I want to have an EPM on a cloud, I can certainly use the EPM because this is rich in functionality and everything, and then we can integrate that. But if I see there is a white spaces which is not being addressed by any product, or if you have to buy a module which you are only going to use 10% of the functionality and 90% is not applicable, then you use this Ephlux platform to build that. Good example could be, I have seen various customers who do not have an advanced warehouse management functionality requirement. They need basic functionality. However, they want to entirely digitize their operation within the warehouse. Okay, and that's where we feel that Ephlux could play an important role in digitizing their warehouse application, which has minimal requirement, does not require an advanced warehouse module to be procured and pay a lot of license costs. So if we
I totally agree.
figure
I
out,
totally agree.
yeah,
No, I
and
totally agree
those
with you. And
industry white spaces and where the product gap is there could be very easily and very smartly can be built in quick no time, as well as can be delivered to the
I
business.
totally agree. So I think there are two criteria here, right? If you have if you have more than 80% of what you're trying to have in that solution already in the ERP, that's number one. Secondly, the use case that you have, right? If the use case is for, I'll take another example. I think you gave a wonderful example there. The other example would be if I want to create a service ticket, right? A service work order from the job site, for example, right? Now, does that warrant having a full-blown service CRM? I don't think so, right? Because you have your service management, you have your service billing, you have your SLAs, all of that in the service management module in your ERP already, right? So if you just wanted to give an interface to your customers for self-service ticketing, Swift could be a wonderful tool to do that, as opposed to rolling out a full-blown service CRM and then realizing that only 5% of that's going to get used in terms of your own implementation. Do you have any inputs on that, Matt, as well?
Yeah, no, and I think while it's the business that's usually the consumer of this, I think it provides a lot of value to IT as well. We've seen a drastic shift in at least the last 10 years, if not longer, where a lot of the control and budget and spend has been pushed out of IT and into the business units. Those are the decision makers, and that's been the rise of a lot of these SaaS, probably starting with something like a Salesforce, right? Where you could put an application or a very specific application on a credit card, and the business unit, the VP of sales or director of operations or whatever, is just went to IT and said, I've already bought this. Go get it, make it work, go implement it. What that has evolved into now from an IT perspective is you have to manage the governance, compliance, and everything with potentially dozens of different vendors and providers out there. With a product like Swift, it gives at least and I hate to minimize it and call it a tool. I apologize for saying that, tool, but for the sake of the discussion, it's a tool in the tool belt for IT that they can push out to the business and retain a good level of control, a more moderate level of control, and say, hey, here's something that we can build upon that has a centralized platform for governance and compliance, and that where it'll keep their lives a little bit simpler as well, while still providing the opportunity to deliver significant results for just about any business unit that they would come in contact with.
Sure. So Santosh, do you have any follow-up points to that?
No, I think I've covered the point, but yes, what you rightly said was we need to look at business use cases to develop these kind of a thing. Another example would be the CX, right? We cannot have an entire e-commerce solution built on a Ephlux platform, but if you really need to integrate that and some of the features needs to be brought in, Ephlux could be easily used along with any e-commerce platform, whether it's Oracle Cloud Commerce or you are using Magento or Shopify, anything, but you still have Ephlux platform playing there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I think interesting you brought that up, because that's something, some discussion we've been having recently on that. The other point I would like for you guys to discuss a little bit is around the enterprise security, Now, when you have a point solution, another challenge that comes in is you have to make sure that you're not opening up security loopholes, right? On those point solutions, and then it's obviously going to go back and integrate with your ERP. So are there going to be security silos, right? Then you have to manage separately and have a management structure around that as well. What we did with Swift is, all your security that you already have in the ERP, that stays intact. And on top of it, you can build 5 layers on top of it, right? Depending on how you want to go about it. Things like, having mobile device authentication, having, user level attribute that you can create and configure as a business analyst and do some row level security on top of it, right? Having multiple categories of users that you can build on top. And by the way, we are fully SOC 2 Type 2 certified now. We spent more than a year worth of investment becoming SOC 2 Type 2 certified to make sure that we can answer all those lengthy questionnaires. So now we just have to give the SOC 2 Type 2 certificate. Earlier, we had to fill, like good 1 week worth of security questionnaire as to where that data is going to go and how is it going to go. Is it going to be security on the fly, on the endpoint, whatnot, right? So again, going back to the point on security, what will be your thoughts on it when you implement a solution which the business needs, but the security really, gets nervous about?
Yeah, Leah, I think you did the right thing. The first question that I asked you when we were signing this partnership is because every time we go to every customer, okay, and we want to install any new platform, whether it's any product that you take to, they need to get an approval from their infrastructure and security teams, right? Unless and until that gets validated, no solution, they will not be even ready to even install it. Rightly so, because these days the cyber security and is very key to any organization. We have seen many attacks disrupting the business and everything. So hence, the good news when we started working on this one with JD Edwards customer, and you showcase that, okay, it works with, you're not going to change the security. The same security what you have for JD Edwards can be extended, and plus those additional layer that you have built has been really good. Few certification would be really nice. I think we should continue to do that, and so that our job becomes a little simpler, and working with you and our clients to make sure that, okay, we implement this solution.
Ed, do you have any inputs on it?
Yes, I think same case as we had in Mexico with the clients, and also in Latin America about security. And also, as Matt mentioned, sometimes the owner of the business say, we bought Salesforce and now I need to connect and make it happen. And it's a challenge for IT and also the consultant side. But and also as Santos mentioned, because this is normal in Mexico, we try in Latin America when you're trying to connect something external to your ERP. That's one of the things. The time of all the topics that you need to face about security. But in the case of Ephlux, that you have already worked that you have been, all that you have walked already with all that pathway, that we know that the clients will need to make sure that your connection with Ephlux and JD Edwards will be the correct one. I think it speed up the process of security, it speed up the process of connectivity, and which is really, really good against, sometimes when you're trying to connect an external solution to JD Edwards.
Sure. So maybe Matt, any inputs, and then I'll give you 30 seconds to maybe just conclude each one of you. So Matt, starting with you, if you have any inputs on the security point, and then you can extend that with the concluding remarks about the partnership with Ephlux and Swift.
Yeah, no, I mean, quickly on I think Ed and Santosh nailed it, right? From a security perspective, there's really nothing to add. That's spot on. But in conclusion, no, I think, and we've talked quite a bit, it's the platform with Swift is definitely future forward. It's something that we're excited about. We continue to be excited about, and it's is relevant across multiple layers, not just in the JD Edwards space. And that's what that's another area where we find so much value, is the ability to provide value beyond just the ERP. So when we focus on our customers and we address them in a holistic perspective, while yes, JD Edwards generally is in a good deal of our customer base, there is Salesforce. There's, I can go down the list of everything else that ties into it. And Ali, as we've worked with other customers that collaborated on other customers in the past or prospects in the past, it's great to say, well, yeah, there's a space in JD Edwards, but we can plug into anything, right? We can tie into almost anything, which is a fantastic value add to the solution. So we're excited. We're continuing to preach the benefits of Swift, and very much looking forward to continuing that relationship and partnership down in the future.
Right. So Edgardo, any quick words, 30 seconds for you, and then we'll get this Santosh to wrap it up.
Yeah, well, thank you for your time. Looking forward, as Matt also say, I think this the product, the solution for Latin America, I think it's really interesting the way we can help our clients in Mexico and in Latin America, related of flexibility, of ROI, and also that we can really speed up the process to helping our clients here in Mexico and Latin America. And thank you again for the time for having us.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for making the time. And Santosh, 30 seconds for you.
Yep. So we were building this entire digital strategy for the entire ERP, and we were digitizing the core. When I say digitizing the core, means if you're on JD Edwards or any ERP, we were actually trying to digitize the entire ERP operation, and we found that Swift would be a good platform which fits into our strategy on overall digitizing the core for JD Edwards, and that's where we started. And I think we have made a lot of progress. We are already in discussion. So I'm pretty excited to take Swift to the market for helping customers there digitize their operation, along with some few other partners where we're using different technology. We are showcasing a lot of solutions on Oracle Cloud World. We will be showcasing Ephlux platform too, and what the power of your platform, because there are certain solutions that we have built. So welcome to Cloud World from September 18 to 21st. Visit us at our booth, and you would see whatever we talked here, you would see that in reality. So thank you, everyone. And thank you, Ali, for inviting me to speak on this one.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for joining in. Thanks, Santosh. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Ed. And thanks, William. I think William had to leave early. So we are a very partner-first approach, and instead of just becoming a bottleneck to the scalability of this technology, we are creating an ecosystem, right? And that's why we launched the Swift Innovation Hub. Feel free to participate in it. Feel free to come up with your ideas. Would love to incorporate as much innovation as we together can into these solutions. Like we all said, is future forward, right? So thanks everybody for participating in that. Thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.